Thank you, and please remain standing for the reading of the land acknowledgement. The University of Michigan is located on the territory of the Anishinaabe people. The Ann Arbor campus currently resides on land ceded through the Treaty of Detroit in 1807. Additionally, in 1817, the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land transfer to the University of Michigan, ceded through the Treaty of Fort Meigs, with the agreement that their children would be educated in perpetuity. We assert the sovereignty of tribal lands and acknowledge the painful historical and ongoing genocide, forced assimilation, and displacement of Native communities to educate the children of Native ancestors. We affirm contemporary and ancestral Anishinaabe ties to this land, the profound contributions of Native American peoples to this institution, and the university's commitment to educate the children of Native ancestors. Acknowledging the land is an important first step towards healing that needs to be followed by further action. We invite all of you to think about how you can support Indigenous communities that surround you. I would also like to thank and recognize the platform guests made up of faculty and staff who are with us today to celebrate with our A and PI community. Thank you all for being here. I think you could be seated now. And Dr. Martino Harmon, Vice President for Student Life, will give our opening address.
Good afternoon. You look great. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the University of Michigan Asian and Pacific Islander 2023 graduation ceremony. The celebratory ceremonies that you have engaged in over the past week, today and tomorrow, are the culmination of the hard work and patience you have endured for the past 4 years. Congratulations to the graduates. Let's give them a round. We're going to do this many times, so get used to it. In the midst of a global pandemic, you press forward to achieve your goals. Thank you to parents, grandparents, guardians, family, and friends for your unrelenting support. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Early tomorrow morning, most of you will participate in the Big House graduation with over 18,000 graduates with their families and friends. No doubt that will be a very memorable event. Today, in this place, you also choose to celebrate with this community and recognize your unique experiences that you've contributed to the greatness of this university. Because of your willingness to share and lead, the university is a better place, a much better place than it was 4 years ago. As Vice President for Student Life, my vision is to support Wolverines like you in learning how to be student leaders and future world leaders, leaders who will positively change the landscape as artists, educators, scientists, researchers, health practitioners, policymakers, community activists, and more. This year's 2023 theme, Up Next, You Get to Decide, is indicative that you are prepared, ready, and willing to be trailblazers in deciding the fields where you will work, how and where you will work, where you will live, how you would respond to the needs of humanity, and how you will solve our known and future unknown challenges. I wish you well in your future endeavors, and I hope that whatever is up next, you will choose love, peace, and happiness. I now invite Reka and Karen, two of the members of the 2023 Asian and Pacific Islander Planning Committee, to share why they believe this theme is intertwined with your time here at the university and throughout your next story. Thank you, and go Blue.
Thank you, Dr. Harmon. We are honored to be here. The 2023 Asian and Pacific Islander graduation celebration theme centers our individuality with the phrase, "Up next, you get to decide." Music is a universal way that each and every one of us explores our individuality. When we create music playlists, we decide what is up next. We can shuffle the songs, skip the songs, and more. Through our uniquely curated playlist, we showcase our ability to determine what is in store for us. We chose lo-fi aesthetics and muted color palettes to highlight the peace and serenity of expressing one's true self. The origins of lo-fi are also symbolic of our graduating class, as the music genre originates with young people around the world recording their own music with what was available to them. In light of the challenges we faced, we did our best with what was available to us and adapted to make the most of our experiences.
The lo-fi themed bedroom cover reminisces on our time at the University of Michigan. From the sneakers laced over the power lines to the rooftops of Ann Arbor neighborhoods, we hope you can reflect on your growth and memories you created here. The artwork throughout the booklet intends to evoke feelings of nostalgia as well as the many possibilities in your future in which you get to decide what's up next. As part of the graduating class, we congratulate the class of 2023. Thank you, and forever go blue. In celebrating our graduates, the committee is continuously working toward intentionally including the many cultures that make up the Asian and Pacific Islander communities here at the University of Michigan. Individually and collectively, it is a joy to celebrate with everyone today the many cultures that beautifully make up the Asian and Pacific Islander communities. The Oceana Student Association, a Pacific Islander student organization at the university, has dedicated its time and love to make leis for all the 2023 graduates and our platform party. We thank the Oceana Student Association for this beautiful show of love to each graduate and contribution to the ceremony. Please join us in welcoming Ren, a member of the Oceana Student Association, to share with us the history and importance of giving a lei.
Thank you, Reka and Karen. A lei is an adornment that can be worn around the neck, head, wrist, and even ankle that is carefully crafted with aloha or love. Lei can be made with fresh flowers, seashells, feathers, seeds, nuts, and less organic materials like ribbons, dollar bills, and even candy. Regardless of the materials, what the lei maker chooses is done intentionally in thinking through color, design, and presentation. And the tradition of giving and receiving lei began when ancient voyagers traveled from Tahiti to Hawaii. Lei wearing and giving are often associated with rank, royalty, and even hula. Lei are exchanged as symbols of friendship, honor, greeting, and love. So in Pacific Islander communities, lei are often bestowed to graduates. Friends and family get quite creative in what types of lei they make and how many they can stack on a graduate. Today, the lei we have for you was made by members of the Oceana Student Association, and the labor that went into them is a reflection of the labor that you put into getting your degrees. So make sure you honor them, and please respect them. If you decide that you don't want to wear it, you may give it to a loved one that helped you along the way. So congratulations to the graduating class of 2023.
Thank you, Ren, for sharing that history and importance of giving of the leis, and to Dr. Harmon for the welcome address, and to Reka and Karen for sharing their thoughts and vision of the planning committee in choosing the theme and artwork. Our guest speaker, Dr. Melissa Borja, also chosen by the planning committee, will share her remarks on the theme and how the theme will design your future. Dr. Ellen Meter, Assistant Vice Provost for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, will introduce our guest speaker. Dr. Meter, we appreciate the work you do to promote DEI initiatives through your many years in several roles at the university and how your work has helped to shape the experiences of our graduates.
Thank you, Manan. It is an honor to extend my congratulations to the graduating class of 2023 and to extend my warmest greetings to your family, friends, colleagues, and allies here today. And we are just really excited to celebrate all of your accomplishments. Our guest speaker, Dr. Melissa Borja, is an assistant professor of American culture at the University of Michigan, where she is a core faculty member in the Asian Pacific Islander American Studies program. Trained at Harvard, the University of Chicago, and Columbia University, Dr. Borja is a historian of migration, religion, race, and politics, and is author of the book, Follow the New Way, American Refugee Resettlement Policy and Hmong Religious Change, which was published just this year in February by the Harvard University Press. An active public scholar, Dr. Borja advises Princeton's Religion and Forced Migration Initiative. She serves as the lead investigator of the Virulent Hate Project and has contributed research to the nonprofit organization Stop AAPI Hate. For her research and advocacy on anti-Asian racism during the COVID-19 pandemic, USA Today honored her as one of the 2022 Women of the Year. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Melissa Borja.
Thank you for that kind introduction. Thank you all for being here. Congratulations. I'm going to be saying that word a lot this afternoon. Up next, you get to decide. This is the theme for our celebration, and the musical playlist is the metaphor we are dwelling on today. It's a very appropriate one, I think. If we think about our entire lives like a playlist, a collection of songs we curate ourselves that reflects who we are and what we hope for, struggle against, dream of, love. In many ways, a graduation is like a moment in the playlist of our lives when we shift from one song to another. There's a lot of anticipation. What will we dance to next? So I'm going to use this occasion to tell you about my first playlist, which I made when I was 10 years old. I'm a historian by training, so I'm going to give you a history lesson right here. Unlike many of you graduating today, I was born in a long ago era called the late 1900s. And in this far off time, we didn't have Spotify or streaming services. We had mixed tapes. These are physical, plastic, rectangular things. And to make a mixtape, you have to load a blank cassette tape into a state-of-the-art cassette player and record songs off the radio. It is a labor of love. Now, it was 1992, and my favorite song was End of the Road by Boyz II Men. It's a great song. I love that song so much, I recorded it 10 times on one mixtape. This project took real dedication, an entire weekend of me sitting by that tape player, waiting very patiently for WIOG to play that song, and then pouncing to press record as soon as it did. The tape was an unusual mixtape because, let's be honest, there was no mix. No mix at all. It was literally a playlist with the same song, recorded 10 times. That's it. My friends thought my mixtape was really weird, kind of boring, obsessive. Maybe it was, but I thought my mixtape was glorious. It was exactly what I wanted. It was mine, something that reflected what I loved, a creation of my choice. In the playlist that is our life, we need to make choices. It's a responsibility we face all day, every day, and not only do we need to make choices, but we need to make good ones. That's a big burden. We're constantly reminded by our family, our friends, social media, the news, to make choices that are wise. Because our individual and collective futures depend on it. In order to be healthy, we need to choose the right food to eat, the right exercise to do, the right amount of sleep. In order to be successful, we need to choose the right classes, the right major, the right internship. In order to be happy, we need to choose the right career, the right romantic partner, the right place to live. And the fact that we are faced with so many choices that shape the course of our lives is exhilarating and empowering, and it is also super exhausting. Decision fatigue is a real thing. That's the reason why Barack Obama had a closet full of suits that were all basically the same, the presidential wardrobe equivalent of my Boyz II Men mixtape. As he explained, "You'll see, I only wear gray or blue suits. I'm trying to pare down decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing because I have too many other decisions to make." And anyway, remember that time he wore a tan suit? Didn't go so well. Sticking with Navy? Good choice. Another reason why making choices is overwhelming is that it's hard. Now, to be sure, some choices are pretty easy. For example, my daughter is thinking about where she might want to go to college in a few years, the University of Michigan or Ohio State. I think there's an obvious choice here. But more often than not, we're faced with decisions that don't have an obvious right answer. Making choices is hard when there are a lot of unknowns, when there's no clear best option, when you have a lot of good options, when the consequences of your actions are overwhelmingly big, when you've never had to make such a big decision before. Now, students in their final year of college often face all these challenges, and graduating seniors often find their way to my office seeking advice about what they should do next. Should they apply to graduate school, move to LA, travel abroad, stay here, save up some money doing a familiar job close to home? Now, because I'm a religion scholar, I'm going to take a moment to make a confession right here. The truth is, I'm 40 years old, and I'm often asking the same questions. Is this what I should be doing? Is this where I should be? What should I be when I grow up? But despite the fact that I'm continuing to figure things out myself, I think I do have a little bit of experience making some choices, some of which have been good and wise, others less so. And throughout this process, I've learned a lot about the art of choosing. So while I acknowledge this is maybe a little bit audacious, and despite the fact that I've made my own fair share of mistakes, I'd like to share 3 rules for how to make good choices in life. Rule number 1, approach every hard choice as an opportunity in itself. Specifically, every hard choice is an opportunity to grow, to be in conversation with yourself and others, to learn about and reflect on your priorities, your values, your needs, as well as those of people around you. It's a chance to know who you are and thus to create who you are. In this regard, the chance to choose is a great gift. You don't have to make a choice. You get to make a choice. And you get to be a wiser, more self-aware, and more intentional person because of the thinking and reflection involved with making that decision. Sheena Iyengar, a social psychologist who researches choice, puts it this way: the chiseling, the carving out through our decisions is what defines who we are. We are sculptors finding ourselves in the evolution of choosing, not merely in the results of choice. In her view, choosing is a liberating act of creation. She notes, the writer Flannery O'Connor reportedly said, "I write to discover what I know." Perhaps we can take a page from her book and say, I choose to discover who I am. Rule number 2, always, always, always say yes. This advice might be surprising, so let me explain. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever utter the word no. For example, I think that advice from the late 1900s R&B group TLC is pretty sound. No scrubs, unless you're a surgeon. But what I am proposing is that when you say no, you reframe it as a moment when you are actually choosing to say yes. Yes to something that is deeply important to you. And what I'm recommending is that you always strive to say what is your best yes, which are the actions that reflect your most fundamental values and are in keeping with what you see as your personal mission. Lots of times a best yes and a lifetime defined by courageous, purposeful action emerges from a no. And here I'll point to the lives of two very fierce Asian American feminist activists whom I admire deeply, Grace Lee Boggs and Helen Zia. For Grace Lee Boggs, the world said no. And that opened up the opportunity for her to say her best yes to something truer to herself. She was born in 1915, graduated from Barnard College, earned a PhD in philosophy, but there were few opportunities for academic careers for women at the time. So she moved to Chicago, became involved in labor activism and Black civil rights organizing, got really involved with fair hiring practice organizing. And she later recalled, when I saw what a movement could do, I said, boy, that's what I want to do with my life. From there, she said her best yes to a decades-long career committed to a number of social causes, from Black power, women's rights, to environmental justice, anti-war activism, Asian American organizing, and more. Helen Zia, on the other hand, chose to say no, and that too offered up opportunities for her to say her best yes to an activist's life that felt more authentic to her. Helen Zia studied at Princeton in the 1970s as a member of its first graduating class of women. As a student, she helped found the Asian American Students Association and was involved in anti-war organizing and feminist movements on campus. But after she was graduated, she wasn't quite sure what to do with herself, so she chose the default option, medical school. It's not the right fit for her. And after 2 years, she said no to medical school, moved to Detroit, started working in an auto factory, became involved in labor organizing, and discovered journalism. And when Vincent Chin was murdered in 1982, just a few weeks after I was born, by the way, amid a rise in anti-Asian sentiment, Helen Zia was one of the leaders in the movement to call for justice for his killing. And today she is one of the nation's most prominent Asian American leaders. All of this is possible in part because she said no to medical school and said her best yes to a career in activism that felt closer to her values and her mission. My third rule, remember that your happiness depends not only on making the right choice, but on making that choice right. After investing time and effort into making a good decision, you might think that your work is over and that's it, your happiness is settled. But that's not true. Making sure our decisions work out for the best requires continuous attention, effort, and care. And on this point, I like to think about the example of my parents, Frank and Eleanor, who, perhaps like many of you in the audience today, are immigrants. They came to the United States from the Philippines in the early 1980s with big hopes and big dreams for themselves and their children. And where did they choose to pursue these big hopes and big dreams? Saginaw, Michigan. Now, before I proceed, is there anyone here from Saginaw, Michigan tonight? I do this every time. I'm always waiting for someone to, was that a yes? Hey! Yes, this is the first time anyone ever raised their hand. I'm very nice to see you. Okay. So I love Saginaw. And some people call my hometown Sag Nasty, but I prefer the nickname Sagin Awesome. I loved growing up in Saginaw so much, and it was amazing. But let me be clear, lots of family members and friends thought my parents had made a pretty bizarre choice. Everybody wondered why they basically traded the tropics for the tundra. The mango options are terrible in Saginaw. And my Uncle Oscar, who lived in California, kept trying to convince my parents to move to LA so their daughter, me, could be, as he put it, a star. Well, I never became a star because my parents felt pretty darn good about Saginaw. They liked its down-to-earth atmosphere, friendly people, affordable cost of living. To a young couple looking to establish themselves in America in 1982, Saginaw seemed like the best place for their young family to call home. And what they felt in 1982 turned out to be true. It was a great home, though not because there's anything inherently special about Saginaw. It was a great home because over the past 4 decades, My parents have made it a great home. They cultivated wonderful friendships. They invested in the community. My dad served on the school board. My mom still goes to high school football games, even though she hasn't had a kid in the high school for 2 decades. They are loyal, Saginaw Awesome lovers. In other words, Saginaw ended up being the right choice because my parents insistently and actively made it the right choice. Well, friends, it's your graduation. And to quote from the ever insightful Boys to Men, we've come to the end of the road. And at this journey, point in the journey, maybe like Boys to Men, you can't let go. Or maybe you're actually really eager to move on. Or maybe you felt like I did on graduation day, excited, but uncertain because the world is big and beautiful and you don't want to miss a single second of this glorious gift that is your life. And all these feelings are okay. However you feel, though, my hope for you is this: that you take the time to embrace the opportunity to make wise choices that are the best for you. That you find a way to say your best yes. That you find a way to make the right choice and to make that choice right. And that you find yourself in the process. Congratulations.
Let's give another round of applause for Dr. Melissa Borja. Thank you. Thank you so much, Melissa, for reminding our graduates that whatever is up next, they are equipped to make decisions that will impact their lives and community for positive change. Up next, let's celebrate. We want to celebrate you as an individual that makes up this unique community. So graduates, this time has been set aside for your personal expression through words, movements, or celebration. You get to decide how you celebrate. If you want to use a mic to express a brief message of thanks to your loved ones, a mic is available for you, if you desire. Got one? Oh, back. There's folks with the mic. Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, I really enjoyed that speech, Dr. Borja, so it really hit me in all the decisions I have to make. But I guess to start our creative expression off, I just want to say, thank you to my family for being here. And, I'm from Ann Arbor, so things get a little boring sometimes, but it's always nice to come back home and hang out. I think all I want to say is I came to campus and I didn't really know what being Asian American or Chinese American meant, and all of you guys have really helped me in that journey, and I hope that I've helped make spaces that feel inclusive or even just a one-on-one conversation, making us just feel this is where we belong. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
I think there was another person I might have missed in the back. Do you want to come up?
Okay, cool. Hi. My name is Dr. Paulina Irina Conis-Frazier. And I'm getting my PhD today in educational studies from the School of Education. I'm a first-generation Filipino American, and if I could express to you a little bit of my journey here at Michigan and why I'm getting my PhD in the form of a spoken word, is that okay? Okay. I was gonna try to do it dramatically, okay. When I tell you I'm getting my PhD in education, don't you dare act surprised. Don't you dare act like being driven and focused is something new. Like deconstructing Western societal norms to fit my face in the frame is something to congratulate. See, this here is where I belong. Against luck or odds, validation is better than any degree. So when I tell you I'm getting my PhD in education, it's because I didn't learn about blackface or minstrel shows or the American Indian boarding schools or the LA walkouts of '68 or the Chinese Exclusionary Act. Did you? I didn't learn about anti-blackness or hegemony or imperialism or even taxes. Did you? No. Right. You see, I never learned to name it, this colonial mentality, this generational suffering, this back that births both burden and liberation. You see, I never realized that the reason I felt so stripped away from my culture was because my native land had been conquered not once, but 3 times, leaving our history in the lips of a language I still can't speak. Being Filipina in America, I thirst for my culture. My stomach hollows for the craving of the water my parents parted to get here to America. I'm part ocean, part land, a hybridity that ties me to the indigenous tribes of the Philippines that my blood still bleeds for. While my mother, she crossed these seas to birth me on this land, but she's called an immigrant while I'm a citizen. I'm part ocean, part land. But they call that a hyphen here. Here, they hyphenate you. They other you. They don't recognize the dirt and soil and ocean in you. They don't recognize the other side of the world in you. You see, I'm studying education because not knowing about these things, not reading about these stories from a different perspective is dangerous. Like broken glass in mouth, these words cut where we should speak life, so I'm here. To continue to stand on the shoulders of those who have already labored for me to be here, who have taught me that I too can water and ground those after me. But some people want to ask me what I could possibly do with the highest degree in education. I could start a riot. Thank you.
Incredible, incredible. So as you make your procession up here, which will start shortly, you can also just make a quick, note of thanks as you walk by. But thank you so much. Marshals, please step forward to lead our graduates to the podium. Please welcome our 3 name readers. Ann Kong Nguyen, Digital Scholarship Strategist and Senior Associate Librarian of the University Library. Niraja Aravumudan, Director of the Ginsberg Center for Community Service and Learning, and T. Charles Yoon, Director of Computing of the School of Information.
All right, graduates. So upon handing your name cards to the readers, you can proceed to the podium, as Dr. Desai said, where you can express a brief message of thanks, or you can say some words, share some words of wisdom. After your message, please proceed over to shake hands with Dr. Harmon and Dr. Meter. And then you'll receive your cord from Dr. Sting and Borja. And lays from Dr. Ren, and soon to be Dr. Ren and Dr. Desai. And then you can continue across stage, right, to take your seats. All right. Dalena Huang, Bachelor's of Science in Statistics and Sociology. Tayebe Chowdhury, Public Health with a minor in Entrepreneurship. Ruma Taher, Sociology, Law, Justice, and Social Change with a minor in entrepreneurship. Ariba Mason, BS in Neuroscience. Reike Fujiwara. Aditi Kure, Computer Science. Gina Liu, Bachelor of Arts in Public Health. Esther J.A. Park, Organizational Studies. Perry Sun, Bachelor's in Industrial Operative Engineering. Alicia Zhang, Cognitive Science and Spanish. Samara Kamal, Bachelor of Science in Organizational Studies. Katrina Marielle Katavian, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Karen Nguyen, Bachelor of Science in Public Health. Deveshi Suresh, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Christine Agpasa, Bachelor's in Chemical Engineering. Hillary Chung, Public Health Sciences. Kelly Nguyen, Bachelor's in Chemical Engineering. Rebecca Zhang, Bachelor's in Neuroscience and Psychology. Michelle Gao, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Liza Victoria Sabernido Sumayo, Nursing. Manasavi Parikh, Computer Science and Economics. You okay? Elizabeth Jiwu Huang, History. Mubashira Bulbul, Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Sorry. Sophia Scherhart, Psychology and History of Art. Kate Sullivan, Biology, Health, and Society. Adrian Roca, Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Kristen Malabo, English, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Joshua Peralta, Bachelor's in Industrial and Operations Engineering. Gabrielle Noel Pasqua, Bachelor of Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Jay Portugal, Bachelor's in Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Jolene Soriano, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. Angelina Reyes, Bachelor's in Computer Science Engineering. Grayson Felisa Snyder, BFA in Art and Design. Mira Simonton Chow, Arts and Ideas in the Humanities American Culture. Zanatun Alim, Bachelor of Science in Architecture. Farhana Chowdhury, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Farzana Chowdhury, Gender and Health. Aditi Volita, Honors of Bachelor of Science in Biopsychology, Cognition, and Neuroscience, and Biology, Health, and Society. Amnat Chima, Biology, Amna Chima, Biology, Health, and Society. Kaveri Rai, computer science. Meghana Tomala, architecture. Janielle Kalaluan. Bachelor's in computer science and engineering. Sylvia Wei, computer science. Bo Dong, Bachelor of Pharmaceutical Science. Amy Hay, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Sorry. James Min Win, Pharmaceutical Science. That's all right, I got you. Ye Min Trang Tiara Do, Bachelor of Science Anthropology. Tager Hashikura, Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering. Nami Kaneko, Evolutionary Anthropology and Biopsychology, Cognition, Neuroscience, Bachelor's. Chelsea Padilla, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science and Creative Writing. Nellie Shi, Bachelor of Architecture. Annie Lee, Bachelor's in Biomedical Engineering. Thank you. Anna Zhu, Cognitive Science, minor in Biology. Cassie Tian, Neuroscience. Helen Satsu, Bachelor's of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Jasmine Lee, American Culture and Creative Writing, Bachelor of Arts. Yoon Jin Kim, Public Policy. Writing matters, people. Okay. Lisa Rue, Bachelor of Arts in History and American Culture. Saha Tariq, BS in BCN. Oh, poor thing. Tasnia Yudin, BSc in Chemical Engineering. Ketan Ravinkar, Bachelor's in International Science Studies, Global Environment and Health. Okay, Angel Lee, Bachelor's in Sociology and Social Work. And with that, we conclude the bachelor's class. Please join me in giving a round of applause to the Asian and Pacific Islander class of 2023 graduating bachelors. Congratulations.
Hello. I'm thrilled to begin reading the names of the graduating Asian and Pacific Islander master's students. Thank you. Nathan Tran, Masters of Science and Information. Thank you. Tiffany Lee, Masters of Public Health. Thank you very much. Sarah McNally, Master of Public Health. Thank you. Qing'an Mao, Master of Science and Data Science. Anthony Bowie, Master of Urban and Regional Planning. Thank you. Nikshit Reddy, Masters in Architecture and Real Estate. Akio Nagano, Master of Public Policy. Sandy Su, Master of Public Affairs. Yicha Huan, Master of Public Policy. Thank you very much. Ooh, it's a teeny one. Brittany Jarowski, Master of Social Work. This is the other half. Diana Curtis, Master of Social Work. Thank you very much. Dao Zhou, Master in Computer Science and Engineering. Can you see her? Tasnuva Tarannum, School of Public Health, Master of Public Health and Nutritional Sciences. And Chenhua Ma, Master of Electrical and Computer Engineering. That concludes the master's class. Please join me in giving a round of applause to
I'm from China. I don't have many friends join me today, but I have my parents. They are here. I love you. 爸爸妈妈，我爱你们。
Pardon me, I missed that he was going to say something. That concludes this master's class. Please join me in giving a round of applause to the Asian and Pacific Islander class of 2023 graduating master's students.
We are excited to begin the hooding of our graduating doctoral students. Doctoral students, please stay on the stage until all students have been hooded and photography has been concluded, and then make your way to receive your cord inlay. All right. Jacqueline Lin, Juris Doctor. Ning Lu, Biomedical Engineering and Scientific Computing. Tao Zhang, Doctor of Pharmacy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Tao Tran, and my full name is Zheng Ti Feng Tao. It's my honor to be here today, and I'm the first generation of my entire family have a doctoral degree in pharmacy, and it has been a long journey for me to get to this point. So my parents not here today. I would like to thank my parents, my mentor, my friend who supported me along the way. Without them, I'm not being here today. Ba mẹ, cảm ơn ba mẹ rất nhiều. Class of 2023, congratulations. And my favorite quote today, for today, goodbye, for tomorrow, good luck, and forever, go blue.
Paulina Irene Oconsis Frazier, PhD in Educational Studies.
I'm a doctor. Dr. Laura Ann Jacobs, who just hooded me, was my very first friend when I came here to Michigan. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I just wanted to give an acknowledgement really quickly to my ancestors. I come from the bloodlines of the Frazier, Oconis, Mardocchio, and Mariano bloodlines from the Philippines, and I want to especially say thank you to my family and friends who came here from California to support me today, and a very specific thank you to both my mother and my father, whose sacrifices have got me here today. And I want to dedicate this graduation to my nephew Xavier, because you're the future generation of us. Stay true to your dreams, have courage to keep dreaming, and go blue.
And that concludes the hooding of our PhD students. Congratulations.
I'm excited to present to you I think we already did that, right? Our celebration, well, let me say it again. I'm excited to present to you the Asian and Pacific Islander class of 2023 doctoral students. Let's give them another round of applause. Our celebration today could not be possible without the hard work of our Asian and Pacific Islander graduation committee and coordinator. Please join me in welcoming our A&PI graduation coordinator, Miss Julia Barron of the Office of Academic Multicultural Initiatives.
Hello. Oh, you guys all look gorgeous. Good afternoon, everyone. What an honor it is to be here today to celebrate our graduates, along with faculty and staff, family, friends, and loved ones. This celebration from the theme of Up Next, You Get to Decide, the thoughtfully chosen and crafted decorations that you see throughout the lobby, to the booklet art, and the content of the choosing of our keynote speaker, was all done by the committee. I've gotten the absolute pleasure of working with the committee members this year. Some of them have been with the committee for 2, 4, or 6 years. It is their passion and creativity that led us to where we are today in this space at the University of Michigan, recognizing and honoring our unique and beautiful communities here today. So committee members, please stand as I read your name so that you can be recognized. And as I read their name, please feel free to applaud. Angel Lee. She is a graduating senior. Anna Ju. Also a graduating senior, Esther Park. Graduating senior, Reika Fujiwara. Also graduating senior, Karen Naguin. Also graduating senior, Tiffany Lee. Tiffany is a master's student graduating with a master's in public health. So it has been an absolute pleasure working with you all this year. Thank you for all your dedication and for a incredible year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julia, and thank you to the committee for your persistent work and dedication to honoring our A and PI graduates. I'd also like to thank the Office of Academic Multicultural Initiatives and the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for their work and dedication to DEI initiatives that support our students at the university. It is my great honor to officially congratulate the Asian Pacific Islander class of 2023. How about a round of applause? And I would like to invite you all to please stand as we begin the recession of the graduates, followed by the faculty and staff. Please help me in congratulating this year's graduates.
Thank you.